listening to WhoYaWit, the mother podcast.
All right, so we have a special guest in the building. We go way back. Friend of mine. I know there's people listening that be like, you always got your
Yeah, I was about to say, he always say that.
No, because it is.
Way back. Did y'all play basketball? Because this is the next line that comes up.
Nah, she didn't play ball. Nah, we went to high school together. We went to Pensacola High. We graduated different years. This is a person that was always cool, always dope, always noticed that she was into fashion, always fly. She used to get mad when I said she was from Frankfurt. I still don't know like why or how. I don't know. But we have the creator of the brand HNCOK. Welcome, Bria.
Yo.
What's going on?
What's going on?
Insert the clap. Because we never had women on here.
I was just about to say that. So my whole plan for this, we talked previously, and it's like, all right, like let's try to find the right time. I always try to find the right time, but I think now I really want to diversify everything more and like press the button instead of waiting weeks or like, yo, you got this week, you got this week. Where I'll try to put 2 or 3 interviews together for us in a week to make it happen, and then we can just drop it when we want to. But I wanted to do something special and have more women that are creative, that are doing something, that are empowering themselves and empowering other people around them. Yes. So you're the first woman a part of that journey, so welcome.
Ooh,
Appreciate
I feel
you.
honored.
I think we only had three.
It's only been I can't remember. It's only been a few, but
I'm pretty sure it's only been 3.
Yeah, and it gives vets some cheering to do.
They always got
when
me
I
in here with
bash.
guys.
And she always looking like she don't give a fuck about what they saying. I have the most perfect picture. I had to crop the nigga out because that's a homie. Whereas like she's looking like
alright.
oh my god, like niggas stop lying.
It wasn't even that.
Niggas do be
It's
lying.
just but a lot of times we have like artists on here, and it's just so many different stories you can hear of men coming up as rappers or singers or whatever. So a lot of times I'm like, we need somebody else in here, like
something different.
Give me somebody that write a book, and then he did, and that turned out to be a sham.
That was a very interesting. I think I still got that on my old computer. I didn't want to like ruin him as a person, so I kept it.
We never released it though.
Yeah, we just looked like he definitely chilled with the credit cards and the scammers.
Ooh, what?
Yeah, it's been hard. So let's focus back on you. So explain who you are a little bit to the people that may not know you. Explain the brand, where you come from, how did you get to this point. I think it's super dope for the people that don't know her. She wouldn't create her own goddamn sneaker.
Yes,
that's what I'm talking about.
Where do I start? All right, so hello everyone. My name is Bria Mallory Whitmore. I'm 24 years old. I'm originally from West Philadelphia. I moved to Jersey when I was in my teens, 13, I believe, yeah. But like my whole childhood, I always was. I'm not gonna say different. That sounds just real cliche, but I always just did my own thing when it came down to style. Like I never was like into trends or anything like that. Like my mom is a physician, and my dad is he worked for Amtrak. So I brought them up just to say that like when they were able to buy me clothes, like the expensive clothes, but my mom always was the type, like, and my dad, like, no, we're not going to get you that. We want you to be your own. Right. We don't want you to just be like everybody else.
Name brands.
Exactly. And I feel like that played played a huge part of who I am today. Like, I really just create my style. And, so that was a good thing, and about me growing up and everything. And I went to Lincoln University in 2011. and I actually graduated with a biology degree in 2016.
Yay!
And like just throughout Lincoln, I knew I wasn't really happy with biology. It's just that I was good at it.
Safe choice.
Exactly, it was real safe, but I didn't really care for it. But the whole time I was at
now,
Lincoln,
just waste your parents' money.
okay, and my money. Let's get that straight. Yeah, like the whole time I was at Lincoln, I just was like, I wanted to be a dentist. I wanted to be a physical therapist. I just changed so many occupations. But then I'm just like, I never really knew exactly what I wanted to do. I knew I loved fashion, but not even fashion, but just more so style. Like, I'm just more into style. And, when I met my boyfriend, Dwayne.
Hello, Dwayne. Don't act shy now.
That was
Yeah.
You've done this before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, so when I met him, like, he always was like fashion driven. He has a little clothing line going on, hair and culture.
Which was super dope.
Super
Appreciate it,
dope as
man.
fuck. Dope as fuck.
I remember we met you here a few years ago. Dropped off
Yeah.
that hoodie, man.
So like after meeting him, honestly, we both like pushed each other to like really like going forward. And I don't know if I told you this, but you just really motivated. I did. You motivated me.
Yes, get
He
these
motivated
points.
He motivated me a whole lot, in going into Hancock. How can I say this? Like, I didn't want to have a clothing line or anything like that, but I love shoes. I'm infatuated with like sneakers and jackets, like. So I was just sketching up one day, and I was like, Dwayne, I'm making a sneaker. Like, this is it. This is it. And he was like, do it. So that's what the fuck I did. I just did it. I did it. And Hancock whole motif is like creating your identity. That's why, Hancock is a signature brand. So that's where we are with it. And I want people, when people wear Hancock, I want people to feel like they can do whatever they want to do. And with my sneaker, I actually provide 3 different laces: black, camouflage, and cream, just so people can get different options and have different options. Like,
when did you first finish? When was the shoe first finished?
well, my release date was was it March 24th?
March.
Was it March?
Of
Yeah,
this
March.
year?
Yeah, this year.
It was recently.
Yeah, like 4 months ago. Yup.
How was that whole creative process? I mean, because I'm pretty sure people have heard clothing designers talk about, coming out with t-shirts, which is pretty cut and dry, but I'm sure creating a shoe is an entire different level of a process, from sketching something to an actual physical shoe.
And finding somebody that even know how to do that.
Yes,
Right.
it was a lot of research, but it took me a year and a half.
Right.
After I did the sketch, I was just like, I'm on this. This is it. And I did my research, and I got my prototypes done. I got 2 prototypes done. And after the second prototype, I'm like, this is exactly what I envisioned. Like, this is what I'm gonna do. So that's how it went.
When you get your first prototype?
When did I get my first prototype? Oh my God.
That nigga, that's an amazing question.
Whole time he got the answer written down.
When did I get my first prototype? I don't remember. I honestly don't remember.
Wasn't it September before?
Because a year is a long time to be creating something and stay focused on something without being able to physically see or touch what's going on.
You know what? It was actually July. It was July, and then I got the second one in September. So what was that? 2017. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a long time. But you focused on your baby.
Exactly. And I had a lot of support with my parents and Dwayne, so they helped me out throughout the way. So I really needed that.
At any time did you feel like you had, especially being from Philly, where I think a lot of creatives come out of, whether it be in fashion or music, did you feel pressure to the shoe isn't coming along fast enough, I need to put something out?
Yes, that's yes, that's so funny. That's a good question because like I really did, and I kept. I didn't tell people that I was coming out with a shoe. I just used to brand Hancock, and people used to like, "What the hell is Hancock?" Like,
give us something.
So people used to think I was coming out with a clothing line because they knew Dwayne had a clothing line. So I used to always be like, just wait on it, And when I dropped the, what did I drop? It was like a little commercial. I really didn't show the shoe too much, but I would just describe in Hancock with like me walking and stuff.
Right.
And I think that's what gave people like the idea, like, okay, she's coming out with a shoe, and that's when I dropped the shoe.
It was a good build up, I think, to keep, because I think a lot of times people get discouraged if they don't have something to put out. But like you said, it was just all about at least continuing to push the brand name, so people are wondering, what is Hancock? What is she coming out with? What is she dropping? Is it clothes? Is it a purse? Is it...
Yeah, I just try to get people, a little familiar with the brand and, what it means and what it represents.
Right.
I was gonna say, so even having something like that, as far as a shoe, how is the marketing on that? Like, how do you market that to people? Because it has to be a little bit different, than clothes.
Honestly,
so, like, how would you go about that?
Honestly, I'm still learning. Like, I'm still learning.
As we all are.
Yeah. But I basically, market through social media and go to people like that have boutiques and try to pitch my shoes to them. And I'm actually inside.
Which I did see. Yes, you are in a store.
Yes. Yes, Shop 65 in Rittenhouse.
Oh, a nice area too.
17th and Samsung. Get your Hancock.
Nice area. She is not on the boulevard, Joe.
No, I'm not.
The event you had, I also thought that was like super dope. I know y'all come from the background with BU Society. I'll bring that up in a little bit, but I thought that was super dope because a lot of people lose touch of having to do things that people can physically see and touch. I feel like that's a different experience than posting something online, which is dope. Somebody is still like it and drawn to it, even buy it. But it's a difference between going and seeing the quality of it and then you being able to explain it to them, or you being able to see it and being like, damn, like she really just did that, or yo, I really look good in this. So I thought that was a super dope idea.
And that's the thing, like with a sneaker, like, people want to just feel it and touch it, and so I mean that's fine, but I'm still learning and I'm still like getting to know the business of it, but I'm excited.
Are you already working on the next? Is it going to be another shoe?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes. I'm actually in the works of that now. That's so funny.
She was working on it in the car.
I saw your story where you posted like Yeezy Warehouse, Yay Warehouse, when you were in there working on the sneaks.
And I said move.
Yeah, exactly. So I already knew, what was going on with that.
Is that kind of like the time frame you envision the Hancock brand to be, where you don't want to saturate your market with products? You kind of just want to be like, I have one or two products out at a time.
Yes,
and this is
yes, exactly. Like I don't want to give people too much.
Right. I think it lends like a air of it being exclusive. Like even if it's not exclusive, people aren't waiting in line for it. It's still like, this is it, and we're gonna just wait. Like it keeps people
guessing.
Like they want to see your brand because we want to know what's coming next.
And another thing is, I just feel like I'm just bigger than Philly. I'm just bigger than the tri-state right now. So the first project, West Coast didn't even see. So, like, I still have to market that first item. Exactly. So like, I'm not on people's time. I'm on my time.
I was just about to ask, like, what has the long process taught you?
And that's what it taught me. Like, I'm really just doing what Bria want to do. When I want to show y'all my next project, that's when it's going to happen. And I just got to guess.
Do you have a creative team behind you. I think the pictures came out really nice, but you know these iPhones is so crazy nowadays. I've been thinking people having whole photo shoots and they're like, no, this was the iPhone X.
I don't have a creative team behind me. I do have a photographer on hand, but I'm basically just me.
Do you use models or just?
Yeah, I use models here and there. Like, yeah, I do. Yeah, I use models.
You won't have them posing butt naked and some sneakers.
On train tracks. Butt naked on train tracks.
I did, actually.
They were naked?
Yeah, did you see the video? I mean, the pictures?
No.
Yes. Yes.
Now we need the visual. Pull that up.
Hold on. Male or female?
Female.
Pull that up.
But it wasn't nothing too crazy. It wasn't nothing like, too explicit, but it was cool.
If you had to describe your brand in a couple words for people who are like, who haven't seen it and are just like, what kind of style is it? What would you use?
What kind of style? I feel like it's not for everyone. I feel like it's definitely for the people that have their own identity and style, and that can make it something.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
like you gave them a blank canvas and you have to have some sense of style to do something with this.
Exactly. I feel like it's honest. I'm not gonna say it's for creators, but I feel like people that know style and people that is familiar with just, I'm not going to say fashion, but just familiar with creating their own identity and being unique and distinctive in their style.
That's a good word.
I think that's important because
you
don't want everybody looking the same in your shoe.
Yeah.
And I think from what I've seen, even if it was like just pictures of you, like your own styles, I think every time you dress, it's you, but it's a different style, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because I try to just create my own identity. I am my brand. No, seriously. Seriously, and I've been doing it. This was even before Hancock. This was me in high school. Like, this is just me. And this is what I'm good at doing. Right. I'm not faking it. I'm just me. I'm just doing what Bria wanted to do.
Have you ever gone into styling other people?
You know what's funny? I tried to style my friend one time, but I just didn't like it. I was just like, no. Because you're not looking the way I want you to look.
Change your body.
Right. It's like, come on. Like, I could, like
why you not looking like it's looking in my mind?
In my mind, or when I wore it. So I just got irritated. I was like, no, I can't style. Like, I style myself. I know how to style myself. At least I know that.
Right.
At least people, because a lot of people that feel like, I can look cute, I can dress. I'm a stylist.
Right.
No,
I think that's very on trend right now, like for people that dress nice and then it's all of a sudden you're a stylist.
No, you're not.
Stylist booking info in their bios. And I think that's important to like admit where your strong suits aren't in. And
know yourself.
Right.
Know yourself, exactly. And I know that I cannot style. Other people. But when it comes down to Hancock, I think I can put you on some shit.
So did you get any did Dwayne help you at all as far as just like going through the process of maybe finding the manufacturers and things like that, even if it's texture, as far as what you use on the shoe?
Yeah, he helped me out as far as views. When I asked him, you like this? You like this trim on this color? He helped me out throughout the way.
Mainly opinions, but for research and shit, she did everything that she needed to do for her.
Yeah.
So how many times did you sketch it out before you was like, yo, this is the one? Like, how many?
The first time.
Seriously?
The first time we discussed it, we had a conversation about it, and I'm telling him I want the lasers in the bag, I want this, and I sketched it, and it's crazy because the graphic designer that rendered the shoe, I was on the phone with him for a good 30 minutes. He literally just took my ideas and put it right. Executed. I'm like, yo, and I show him my drawing, my sketch, and I can't draw. I try.
You was like, I'm glad you got what I was saying from this phone.
Exactly. I'm like, like, I got you. I'm like, yo, we was on FaceTime, he was sketching. I'm like, okay, yes, this is what I need, honey. But, yeah, like, after he did that first rendering of it, I was like, wow, this is it.
And it was just really waiting for it to be produced that took the longest amount of time.
Exactly.
Business-wise, where would you want to take this? Like, would you like to get bought out or collab with somebody? Or would you like to be solely, like, independent with what you got going on and just try to mass produce at the end?
I feel like I would always want Hancock to be me, but I wouldn't mind like working with another company, being creative director of that company or something like that, or joining somebody else's team. But I do want Hancock to be all solely me. I don't think I would
give your baby up.
Yeah, I wouldn't give my baby
up. Just collab.
Just collab. Like I'm open to like people like their input or whatever, but I wouldn't give it up.
You said you were like you haven't introduced the shoe to the West Coast. Like, what's that game plan?
And y'all some low key West Coast niggas. Y'all ain't have to like, I already know what y'all listen to. I know, like palm trees and fucking low riders fit y'all well.
Yo, that's the goal. Like, I'm not trying to be in Philly. I'm trying to be out of here next year. Like,
so was it kind of just like going to LA and just like taking the shoe and doing what you did here and just like finding stores and boutiques and saying this is what I have? And
that's exactly how it's gonna go.
She basically doing it on the East right now,
right.
DC trips, New York trips, just different markets on the East, so that's right.
Is this what you do full time? Because I mean, it sounds like this is a lot of work.
Yes, it is.
To put into.
Yeah, this is what I do full time. Yep.
So do you think you're able to have so much progress because you don't have to do anything but focus on this?
That can be true. That can be true.
I think a lot of people struggle with balancing.
Yeah.
Getting a company off the ground, but still having to work for another company.
Right, because it's energy, like not even time.
Right.
It's energy.
Right.
Like, so that plays a lot. It plays a lot. But I don't know. I feel like it depends on the person too, because if the person have enough drive to do it, then by all means do it. I was working at Olive Garden and then I was doing this. So, I mean, it's all to you and your passion.
Because I think we get this narrative that if you want to do something in the creative field, you have to do that solely 100%. And I think a lot of people sometimes put all their eggs in one basket when the timing isn't right. And like you said, you worked another job when you needed to work that other job. And I think people just don't understand that you don't have to be, just because you're not doing this, this doesn't mean you're not 100% in this.
Right.
I mean, like, I feel like if you putting your all into something, you would have no other choice but to be creative.
Right.
Yeah.
When you're doing creativity and then you working a job, it's like you got to shift focuses and then your mind, may be somewhere else, even when you're at your job. So you're not fully
there.
focused.
That's why I say it's energy. It's not even time. It's energy. Like, it's really energy. Yeah, you need your energy. You need to save your energy.
I mean, I think it's fully possible. And I'm pretty sure she's speaking along the lines too. When you see people or know people that's in bad shape and probably have mouths to feed, risking everything, and even when they risk it, they still ain't got the energy, or they still make excuses like they ain't got the time. So it's kind of like it's like. You can do it. Like I listen to a lot of Dame Dash, and he do
too. He be at 5 o'clock in the morning in the gym.
That's so he was talking to the dude Van from Van Lathan, where he basically like, yo, like you gotta jump off the porch.
Yeah.
And what he's telling him is like, yo, I plan on jumping off the porch, but at least let me feel like I'm comfortable before I jump off.
And you
never will be comfortable.
You can't be comfortable.
And that I get that side of it too, but it's a thing, and I guess Dame still got a point where it's always going to be scary no matter what.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he's like,
That's like when they
listen.
say you wait until you're ready, but you're never going to be ready.
Right.
You just going to do it.
And he's like, yo, like, I got, I'm trying to buy my mama a crib, like, by this date, like, it's too much almost, like, uncertainty. And
It's fair. It's basically fair because basically after I graduated college, I started working a full-time job, and then I hated going to work every day, but I'm like, if they give me another contract next year, I might come back. But I got laid off, so I had no other choice but to follow what I wanted to do.
Right.
But if they give me another contract, I've been contemplating like,
Right. Like, should I do it? Right.
should I do it for one more year? And then, 1 more year can lead to 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite local, or they don't have to be local, but smaller brands that you feel like really, not necessarily made an impression on you, but are making impressions right now?
I feel like Henry and Culture.
Shameless plug.
No pun intended. But
that's been around for a minute.
yeah, Henry and
Definitely
Culture for
pushing.
sure. But I'm trying to think. Like Philly brands right now.
And then I might ask you about the Milano
I was just about to.
I would say it's this brand. She's pretty dope. I met her a couple times, but her name is Nino brand. She has a brand in Philly, and her line is really dope. I like that. I fucks with that.
So, I'm sure you know about Milano and the scandals that she faced with the H&M and everything like that. And she also had a shoe. And it turned out that her shoe was just like some $25 shoe that she put the Milano stamp on the box.
The boots?
Yeah.
Okay.
As a designer, as a creative, did you feel like what she did was wrong, or do you feel like that's part of the game when you're trying to make a luxury brand?
I feel like it's a difference between creative and hustler, and I feel like she is not. She's a hustler, and you just gotta know how to differentiate that. Like creatives, designers is in one category, and hustlers is in the other category with the brand.
Right.
And that's and a business owner, hustler and business owner, and that's exactly what she is. So what she did, I don't think was wrong because that's her category.
Right.
Like if somebody like me having Hancock and I put some shit like that, $25 shoe, and just put a stamp Hancock, it's like, why you frauding? That's not your brand. That's not, you didn't design that.
Right.
But I don't look at her as a designer, so I don't think she was wrong.
Did she ever claim that either? Did she ever claim as far as like being a designer, or do you automatically get like thrown that stamp when you come out with things?
I honestly don't know. But
I think it was just like, because she was one of those people that kind of started out like it was a t-shirt, and then it went to a hoodie, and then it went to a whole sweatsuit, and then it went to shoes. And I think it kind of snowballed her into the role of what people were making her.
yeah, like I think it's just like stamping your brand. So I don't know if that's really, I wouldn't.
I think she played the fence about it, whether or not these were her designs, until it came out that these aren't. And then it was kind of like, yeah, I know they're not my design, but this is how the fashion industry works.
Exactly. So I feel like, she... Like
you said, she was a hustler. And I think that's a very accurate statement. When I thought about it, because at first I was like, oh, she's a scammer, which it was a little bit of scam, but I was like, she's a scammer. And then I was like, you know what?
But it's not...
It's not even a scam, because it wasn't that hard to find out that she wasn't making those clothes. It's not like she was going above and beyond to deceive people. She was literally just putting stickers on boxes.
Exactly. Like I feel like you can't even blame her. You gotta blame the consumer.
Right.
You gotta blame the consumer. You knew what she was buying.
Right.
You knew exactly everything.
Right.
So you gotta blame yourself.
Right.
Honestly.
So I do think like she hustled. She took what she had and the lane she got into, and she hustled her way through.
Like, I feel like the people were more disappointed than they were even mad, because they felt bamboozled because they didn't have knowledge of what actually goes on. So now that people may have the knowledge of how these other companies do it, maybe they don't put that expectation on her or on the next person.
Right.
So because like you said, everybody isn't a designer. Like shout out to Jay Urbane, like he does everything down to a T. And you know, it's other people that don't do it, and his whole like he gets upset when somebody compares it to no,
that's not a designer.
He takes like he really takes
because when you listen to like you talk about the like this is a year-long process that I put into me designing this shoe versus somebody calling themselves a designer and they put in 5 minutes of going on AliExpress and bulk ordering you know like some shoes. And then I think, you know, if I was a designer, I would be like, no, we're not the same.
No, we're not.
You can't get caught up in it. It's like the difference between a brand owner and the designer.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you want a designer, look, just stay in your lane, stay down, wait till your time come.
Stay down till you come up. People listening to way too much game.
That's how I feel about it.
And the designer, to add on to your point, the designer is the brand.
Yeah.
That's the creator of it all. It don't matter if it's computers, like it don't matter, sneaker, shirt. He or she is going to create whatever, and that's just going to become the brand and not the opposite way around.
Yeah, or you know, you could just own a brand and just hire designers.
Yeah,
right.
So,
a lot of people do that.
Design your art, design your product, but you know how to get your brand out there and sell it.
Right.
To the people.
Do you think you'll ever branch off of Hancock? Like, are you ready to branch off of Hancock, or are you just really focused on growing this particular brand?
I'm just focused on growing Hancock right now and just seeing where it goes. And no, I don't think that Hancock is solely going to be about shoes. I want it to be, you know, just I want to do a lot of shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I would like some bags.
Read up on the shirts, which is really dope. To sign your name here, like which is like I feel like that's great fucking marketing because it makes somebody feel like yo, like this is my shit.
Right.
Even though it's your shit, it's our shit.
It's our shit.
Like,
Yeah. You gotta be personal, right?
I own this shit.
I own this shit. Yep, I got my Hancock stamp. Exactly.
I think that's super dope. Also, I've been to the venue, BU Society, which is super dope. Was that one of like the first things that y'all had together? As far as together, I know that made a pretty big impact in Philadelphia. I went to art shows there, parties there, releases there for different things. So explain how that came together and y'all experience dealing with owning a venue. Y'all black, y'all out here doing shit.
Right.
So.
I'm gonna say my point of view of BU, and I'm gonna have Dwayne say his point of view.
Okay.
So BU Society Love was like the first step of me entering entrepreneurship. And initially when we first created BU Society Love, we wanted it to be a society for creatives and entrepreneurs to come together and just create their own identity as far as like events, pop-ups, anything pertaining their own uniqueness. So it kind of started getting like a little derailed with an event space, and I know I didn't really like the whole event space because it started becoming like for baby showers, for stuff that just wasn't in
didn't
the
align with what you intended the space to be.
Exactly, and I really started like I started disliking it, and I really started disliking it, and but the whole purpose of BU Society Love was to just bring creatives together. And I feel like, having BU Society Love, it helped me it helped me like just meeting different people.
Definitely
Networking, exactly. And that honestly, that helped me with like creating a shoe. I'm like, yo, I met a lot of creatives here. Like, I feel like I'm creative, but I just didn't know what I wanted to do. I'm like, yo, I'm going to design a shoe. Cause like,
sometimes you just need somebody else to, as a creative, bounce ideas off of or point you in the right direction. I know what I'm looking for. Which direction should I be looking in?
And I remember somebody held a vision board party January 2017, and I told them, I'm like, before the year is over, I want to design my own shoe. And everyone was like, whoa, and you know.
And now she about to slap y'all with the shoe.
But yeah, and I appreciate BU Society Law for that. So, yeah.
BU Society was just a pop-up concept, you know, a pop-up concept that was a platform for creatives. And like she said, you know, meeting a lot of dope individuals, a lot of dope creatives, you know, building around that. And I think, you know, we're going to have way more pop-up concepts soon, but it's going to develop to provide a platform for Hancock handwritten culture and just other dope shit, you know, gallery. And yeah, just keep on providing that platform and meeting dope folks.
But we had to take a break from it just so we can focus on what we really had to do.
Yeah, probably became a distraction from
it kind
what
of
y'all
exactly
set out to do.
Yeah.
Like I said, I noticed the impact where, you know, you see flyers online and it's like, oh shit, like I know the people that own that, and then I know y'all, and it's like, oh yeah, like I come through, you know, I stop past, see what's up, what's going on. And plus, we definitely needed more places to go, because I feel like at the time it was only about 2 places that you really could go.
Yeah.
And it frequents some of the same people.
Yes.
And those places are still dope and respectable, but it's just it's a change of pace, a different scenery, and sometimes you need a different vibe to go somewhere and enjoy yourself instead of, you know, it's different when you go somewhere or go out and you ask somebody like, yo, like what's going on, and really mean it, because you ain't like seen that person, or like you might have just met that person, where in some of these places it curates the same thing. So like when I was just like, nigga, I just saw you last week, I'm doing the same thing. It's nothing like
that's real talk.
Just see me.
Like the BU Society Law never really got oversaturated at all.
Where it was like the same crowd.
It was the same
every time.
Exactly. That's what I liked about it.
No, yeah, like I said, the 4 or 5 times that I've been there, it's all been for different reasons and different people. And y'all have some beautiful women fall through there too. That's a fact. Like, that's a fact. That's a full
you are hilarious. You're ridiculous.
Chill, you know. That was like a word. We really used to say that in high school like a lot, and I don't know why.
Yeah, me and my friend used to call Garnett. 3-way and just to laugh. So you can say ridiculous. I mean, just so you can say ridiculous. He's like, y'all are ridiculous.
That's a shot coming from me. I already know what the fuck that is. So even with the design of the shoe, it's different than a lot of what's happening right now, so to speak. Like it don't follow like the Nike mode. It don't follow the Adidas mode. It's in its own category. So like what type of audience are you looking for, or demographic are you looking for to purchase this shoe?
What type? I don't really have a specific type of demographic, but I'll say the demographic that has purchased the shoe, I'll say it ranges from like ages between like 21 to about 35. Yeah, so I guess it's a young crowd.
That's the millennials eating up all the avocados.
Yeah. Definitely millennials. Yeah, and people, it's not that, I feel like the consumers is not just like the average trendy people. It's not, like, I have noticed that. Like, it's not.
Have you ever been out and seen your shoe?
No, but a lot of people have, and they hit me up and told me.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's probably gonna be like a super dope feeling.
I would say like the first time you out and you just like,
I know where you got come from.
You probably gonna approach them and they gonna be like back up, like I created this shit. It's me.
let me see those.
Seriously.
It's me.
Or she gotta see if somebody bootlegging her shoe. Like, nah, let me check. Let me make sure.
Are you with you, you know, coming out, and I feel like a lot of people do things based off of knowing that they can do it off somebody else's
Right, like this a wave, I'm about to ride it real fast.
Right. So are you afraid of seeing other people, just be like, yo, like I'ma just go and make a shoe now?
Or a very similar shoe. I'm just gonna
that too.
I mean, I'm not afraid because y'all can't do it like me. Like, a lot of people copy stuff. Period. Y'all would never be
Talk
afraid.
that
I had to throw in a Philly period for her period.
With the T at the end. But yeah, a lot of people tweak different things. I get that. But, it's just whatever. Like, Hancock is stamped, is registered, so you can't throw Hancock on there.
And another reason I thought it was like a fabulous idea was the fact that I'm pretty sure to get one of these made, you have to go through so much to make it happen, whether it's money or it's resources, that the average person not gonna want to do that even if they could.
Exactly.
Not for a quick come up anyway. Like
Right.
that's something you do when you're completely invested in
that's
your
dedicated.
idea for the longevity of it.
Exactly.
That's been
I'm
shot
still
alive.
in the red. But I'm still, it's just my passion. I'm ready to just go full throttle with it.
This is gonna be my last question. So are you afraid that it may get are you afraid of it being a trend? So let's say it gets into the hand of I know
A
with
bigger
clothes,
retailer.
Yeah, I know with clothes. I end up telling somebody you may not want to give that to Fabulous. It's I get it, it's cool, but he's so much of a trendsetter that it could be here today, gone tomorrow. Where you only gonna have 6 or 7 months, maybe a year of getting your product off, rather than having a 20-year journey of making it happen, like a Supreme or something like that. So, is that something that you think about, where your shoe may be in the hands of somebody, and then it could turn into, how Rockefeller did or how Fubu did, where it's just here, and then it's like, oh, we off that, on to the next one?
That's a good question. I feel like I'm not afraid of that, but I feel like trendy people makes the world go round. Seriously, they make a lot of companies rich, and I feel like I wouldn't mind it being. I don't know. I don't know. I gotta think about that question.
But I think you control it.
Yeah, you
control
it.
the timing of. You could say, "I'm not producing this shoe anymore." So
Exactly.
I don't care how many orders are coming in.
Right.
Exactly.
I'm done with this, and we're gonna just move on to the next
having
thing.
a limited quantity.
And I think, like you said, that just has to be you as the designer being able to say, "I'm not in it for selling 2 million pairs of these shoes just to get some money because I still want to pursue what my brand is supposed to be, what I originally started it for, which is not for everybody to be walking around in my shoes like they're a pair of Nikes."
Right. 'Cause I know the trendsetters, from what you just said, they got Gucci tripping. Gucci, though, they sign on anything right now.
And Fendi
Niggas
too.
is buying it. Oh, it's a Popeye's cup, Gucci cup.
Yeah.
$600.
You fucking around and see the whole Gucci logo instead of the
And
P, you see the J.
I went
The
to
whole
some store.
shirt.
Dang,
That's
what
a-
store was
that's a
that?
fact. Like,
What
they
store was
tripping right
that?
now.
That we was in LA. That store that we went to in LA. This looked like a known store. We got that shirt from. Well, anyway, it's a known store in LA, and I was talking to the manager, and I was asking them do y'all. I was showing him my product and everything. This is before I actually had Hancocks on hand. I was just showing him a digital version of it. And he was just he was being straight up. He said, honestly, this is not this place for it. This store is nothing but trendy people that wants
What's popping right now.
And he was like, those shoes is hot and they are not.
But unless they saw it on somebody on TV.
Exactly. So I get it. I fully understand. And I just you gotta know your brand. And I know my brand, and I know that it's really for the outcasts, and it's really not even for the outcasts, but it's just for people that
The uniqueness.
the uniqueness, exactly, the distinctiveness.
See, that's Is there anything that you that you want to leave with the listeners as far as about this interview or about yourself or even about your brand?
Yes, you guys can follow me on Instagram at HNCOK.co. It's Hancock, but not really spelled Hancock. It's like missing letters. But in our website, we have a website as well, www.hncok.co.com.
Yeah, definitely check it out. The shoes is hot. The shirts are fire.
Thanks.
Check out the page. Check her out.
Let them know the store they're in again.
Oh yeah,
for the locals.
Shop 65 is in Rittenhouse Square, 17th and Sampson in Philadelphia. So come down.
If you want to go look at them in person and feel them.
All sizes are down there.
Take a picture of them,
there.
upload
Get
it
down
on
there.
Instagram.
Finish money with me.
I see you with the podcast. We out.
You're listening to Who You With? The Mother Podcast.